So They Stopped, an original short story by Jared I. McGee. KIC 846285 was Robert's life. There was nothing else like it in the universe. Well, there was nothing else like it in the universe that mankind knew about as of now, and that was almost the same thing. So, Robert classified KIC 846285 as unique, even though his beloved science told him that such bold claims were a bit overreaching and, by all means, were not wholly provable. Even still, what a wonderful job he had. He sat night after night watching the little indicators that stood for the energy swells and wanes of his beloved star. Though there had been no real contact from the megastructures that had now been deemed as unnatural phenomena, he knew that he would be the one on duty the night that the habitue made real first contact. The ever-quickening pulse of the lights reminded him of his grandmother's bubbling Christmas lights on the old fir trees of his youth, but his rational mind quickly shut out those sleepy, nostalgic thoughts as soon as they came on. These indicators were tracking the uses of these megastructures by the habitue. They were transporting ships and goods. They were leaping across galaxies in no time. They were making gods real. Pulse, pulse. Ebb and flow. Pulse, pulse. Wax and wane. Then all the dials lit up at once, blinding Robert. The recording equipment squealed like some sort of great digital beast being gutted in front of him. He all but fell out of his chair, fumbling to get the volume dial turned down. But it would not budge. The room grew in intensity. Incandescent and shrill, it became a place of pain. Thoughtful boredom became fear, bordering on utter terror for Robert. This was it. The habitue were trying to contact Earth. They were trying to speak to him. After his life of mediocrity, here was the representative of the entire human race. As trained, he prepped his microphone that used the SETI satellites to broadcast sounds out toward the megastructures. The newest, most advanced terrestrial technologies now ensure that these messages were not years in the deliveries. Using the pre-existing megastructures, they were all but instantaneous. He spoke. He read the lines that the governments of the world had agreed upon. It was a message of welcoming and hope. It was meant to underscore all the best features of human culture. He repeated those lines, still competing with the cacophony around him. The sound grew. The lights swelled. The heat from all the output from the machines was becoming unbearable, but Robert stuck to his script, repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until he was screaming into the microphone and, in a futile attempt to block the sound from his ears, his hands were pressing so hard against his head that he knew he was bruising his temples. He pressed play and let the message begin cycling through the pre-recorded messages being read in every living language of the world, and some dead ones to boot. The recording hadn't made it 30 seconds in before the wall of sound and light abruptly stopped. The sounds, even the ambient hum of the SETI ears into deep space, went silent. The lights, even the power indicators assuring the scientists that the machines were simply turned on, went black. No pulse, no ebb and flow. No pulse, no wax and wane. Robert began to speak into the microphone again, becoming more and more feverish, becoming more and more desperate to reach out to the habitue. But it was all fruitless. It would prove to be fruitless forever, soon enough. KIC 846285 and its megastructures could no longer be experienced via Kepler after that night, via any structures or equipment after that night. In fact, the whole area looked devoid of anything at all. It was as if the habitué had thrown up a screen to obscure any attempts to look into their world again. Still, the SETI crew manned the stations faithfully, waiting for the habitué to re-establish contact, or at least until they chose to allow the human race to glimpse into their world again. Robert continued to gaze long and hard into that once vibrant abyss, and he couldn't help but know that this abyss really was gazing right back at him. Thank you for listening to So They Stopped, an original short story by Jared I. McGee. All content for So They Stopped was created by me. The sound effects have been uploaded for download at freesound.org under my username FallbackCrush. Freesound.org hosts an amazing community based on sharing that enhances a great many projects. As always, keep your eyes peeled for the next short story from Jared I. McGee.